everybody, welcome to the video. Today we're going to be talking about raid Battlegrounds in Mr. Pandaria and my strategy for Battle of Gilneas. As usual, we'll have the Horde in red and the Alliance in blue. There you go, Alliance. Alright, so this is probably one of my least favorite raid Battlegrounds because basically it turns into an all-out slugfest for one of the bases, and basically whoever gets to first kind of wins, because it's really difficult to take bases away from people, particularly on this map. So, let's talk about strategy. We are going to make the Alliance team your typical dot cleave. Couple of mages, couple of locks, boomkin, rogue, warrior, and some healers. You need to know what my rated battleground composition is going to be. That's going to be Blood Death Knight, Holy Paladin, Disc Priest, Restoration Druid, Warrior, Elemental Shaman, Retribution Paladin, Fire Mage, Affliction Lock, and Rogue. Okay, let's talk about the initial strategy. There's basically two ways this can go. You can split your DPS in half, exactly, and attack two bases at once. This is pretty much set up for failure because all the Alliance has to do is send back one, maybe two people to defend an area, and you won't be able to cap either base. So, what I like to do is I like to hold the element of surprise. The only person that will be at the mine will be our poor Blood Death Knight, who will have to defend it himself. If not, this is one of those situations where I'm going to have to call it in the battleground, depending on what composition we're up. If not, it will be myself, and someone else will be target calling. But I apologize, I had to cough there. There is also the option of having our Affliction Lock hold it. Anyhow, I like to hold the element of surprise. So, my remaining team will travel along the back path and will attack Waterworks from behind. The Alliance, however, does not get the element of surprise, because there's nothing they can run behind. They basically have to stay in the open until they either reach the Waterworks or until they reach the mine. Now, if they try to attack the mine, there is one other alternate route they can take, which takes about 20 seconds longer. And that is coming around the backside here, attacking the mine there. The Horde actually has a slight advantage if you start out on the ship here, because if I decide not to go with the strategy over here on your right, I will send my main attack force water walking right into Lighthouse. There's a number of options here. Now we're going to assume the Alliance would like to leave their Warlock here. That would be a pretty easy kill. If the Alliance are heading to Waterworks, it'll take them a lot longer than usual. They'll be kind of confused because they won't see our team until we're attacking one base or the other, and at that point they have to call it out. So, in actuality, it is a lot easier to send a small strike force to one base to make them bring some of their people back while you attack another. Now, the strategy for this one's kind of simple, because it basically turns into a freaking slugfest. Whoever can take over the second base basically will hold it for the rest of the battleground. There's a brief window for about 45 seconds to a minute after the second base is taken, where it's easy for the other team to take a second base, but after that, after all reses are up and there's no one on a res counter, it's actually really hard for them to take a base without zerging it. So, let's just talk about from the standpoint that we're going to win here, because there's still a dot cleave and we still have the advantage over a dot cleave. Let's say we win here. Who guards it? Good question. If I left my Warlock back at the mine, the Blood Death Knight and the Holy Paladin will guard it. You always want to have a healer at Waterworks if you have Waterworks, because it's probably one of the easier bases than Ninja Cap. So we will leave the Blood Death Knight and the Holy Paladin there, and we're going to assume that our Warlock is guarding... Oh, didn't get the color purple. Let's assume our warlock is guarding the mine. The Alliance will be forced to attack waterworks or mine if they actually have lighthouse. So, about their best chance for success, as if they have a druid on their team, is to send a rogue and a druid across to mine to try to ninja cap it from our warlock. Let me see if I can get some druid color up in here. Some druid color. Their best bet is to have a rogue and druid try to take mine. The general strategy, after you take over a base, is to always leave 2 people. Unless they're zerging one base extremely hard, you always leave 2 people. In which case, our Frost Mage will stick with our Warlock. That means that we will have a float team. And our float team should sit right about here. Let's see. That would be Disc Priest, Druid, Green Fraile Shaman, because I'm already using the color blue. Green Fraile Shaman, brown for our Warrior. That didn't come out brown. Not sure why it keeps doing that. Brown for our Warrior, and pink for our Ret Paladin. Now, what I could do is have the Elemental Shaman be teamed up, or I'm sorry, not the Elemental Shaman, but the Ret Paladin be teamed up at one of the bases as an off healer. And that would be advisable. But for now, we're going to stick with the standard strategy of a float team. So we have a relatively large float team sitting in the middle. This will allow us to defend either base relatively easily because all we have to do is either hop across the water or head back over to the mine. Now, something you need to keep in mind, though, is if you are attacked on 2 fronts, let's say 3 people are attacking the mine. Well, let's just put the number 3 in there. Say 3 people are attacking the mine. At that point, you're going to want to send 1 healer and a DPS. So that will be me and the Disc Priest. That still leaves Ele Shaman, Ret Paladin, and Druid free. The Ele Shaman, Ret Paladin, and Druid will wait for further instructions. If they have to, they will come assist. But what they actually need to be looking at is a secondary attack that's going to occur on Waterworks. So the Elemental Shaman is going to scoot a little bit closer. He isn't going to go all the way over to Waterworks, but he is going to get a little bit closer. But he's not going to outrange his healers. And they're going to wait there until further instructions, if they need to run to the mines or if they need to run to the Waterworks. Those are their options. Now, I had blah English. I have specifically not mentioned my rogue for one reason. Because almost this whole time, our rogue will be watching Waterworks from down here or up here, checking to see if it's clear. If it ever gets to the point where it appears that there's only 1 defender there and they are attacking, he has the go-ahead to go ahead, swoop down there into the lighthouse and try to take that over. That, or he will wait for our Resto Druid to accompany him and he will try to take over. With a sap cap or a cyclone sap cap, whatever you want to call it. That's the basic strategy behind Battle for Gilneas. It doesn't seem too complex, and it's really not. It kind of just turns into a giant slugfest. I really don't like this Battleground, but I still needed to put that out there because it is what it is. We're still going to have to deal with this Battleground. So, that will be my team strategy for this one. If you guys liked it, go ahead and leave me a subscribe, a like, a comment. If you see any glaring problems, go ahead and let me know in the comments. I'll try to address them. And look forward to the next video where I'm talking about Eye of the Storm. Thanks for watching. This has been Anbraxas.